They searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baizhu. What brings you out this way?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of manpower. As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your...
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Oh no! It's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further! Watch where you're going! Oh, dear customer. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Huh?
Dad!
My, who do we have here? I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me? Your name is Jiao Liang, and you live just west of Qingse Village.
My name is Jia Liang.
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy. Sorry, Hu Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time. Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this state? Huh? Why not? What? Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the sign? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends? Use what? What are you talking about?
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
Oh, yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences... I'm sorry. What?
God.
There's no need to worry, Director Hu. I have methods of keeping them. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat...
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baizhu...
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are...
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today. Okay, deal. We're not going to solve anything. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been...
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Pharmacy at once. Oh, an energy circulation? I see.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad...
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great...
Ayu, do you know when your father first started?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then,
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you.
if you still have any misgivings, Director Who,
However, it would be best if you step outside this.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. See you tomorrow, Baizhu and Chung Chung.
bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
All's well that ends well, huh? You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad. While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docs doing surgery. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. Guilty as charged. Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly? Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, these days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each... Okay, Paimon gets it now. Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baizhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baizhu's master? According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business. And my grandpa had a huge argument with him, so my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chen. Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the... But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition. In what way? Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he definitely... One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what... Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. tomorrow. It's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy and check out how Jia Liang is doing.
Dad! Dad, you were.
Yes, I remember now. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baizhu's gonna help too. Right now.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li...
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did, but how did you accomplish?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu,
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Chiangsheng and myself.
suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baizhu didn't. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system.
Baizhu, can you put...
My predecessor... I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh.
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master.
Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Hutel was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. so...
Hardly. Jiangsheng helps to keep my chi in...
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We met Traveler, Paimon. Would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself. Baizhu, don't you think you should seize this opportunity?
Thank you, Traveler.
Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped...
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as... Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after... As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow disciple...
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here?
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get...
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same... She is several...
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him.
Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard...
Quarrel?
I don't know. I did not witness...
Nor did master ever explain it to me.
Oh, so that's why you went to...
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty...
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky...
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon.
What the...
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Let's split up. But if...
What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
Is it breathing?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is... Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother... If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system...
Offshoots? So...
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the...
The call of the... Wait. So back when Jialiang ran off...
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as...
This is getting crazier and crazy. Hey, why has everyone got...
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment.
You mean... Jialiang?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who...
Huh? So you're saying... It was Wait, but... That doesn't make any sense.
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang...
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entire...
It's too early to draw any conclusions. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases... So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jiali... Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa Village?
Even the history books have no record of this.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain...
Whoa, what? Enter a contract?
Hey, Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with with my assistance in rebalancing your chi. Not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and...
Stronger and healthier? Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with...
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the
Temperament? Ugh! Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baizhu, you're...
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you wolf...
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there...
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk. What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler. We are
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Ah! Ugh, gets Paimon every time.
Are all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baizhu of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity.
Huh? You two are...
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land. Before it was subdued by Rex Lapis, the land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Qingce village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Che is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. No, I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make. Immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete...
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips.
Master!
Gui? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? Based on past experience, he should have been fine.
It seems that my worst... Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Dad! What's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baizhu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baizhu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jialiang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will...
Baizhu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jialiang?
Still hurting anywhere?
Much better, Ayu. Wait.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? I don't know how I can begin to repay him for Speaking...
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay...
Though, on the bright side, this means I can...
Traveler, Baizhu hasn't shown his face ever... Huh?
Huh?
You're finally awake?
There was no time. I had no other choice. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous and...
So, how much longer do you think Baizhu's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep.
Surely he hasn't.
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baizhu! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did...
I made an error in my... And as a result, his life force depleted at a greater...
What? You mean, even if you...
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of cough. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, moreover, the longer...
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse. And why his mom...
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own...
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible. Whatever the cost may be.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now, so her regular exposure to God remains over such a long... And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baizhu.
It's Jiao Liang!
Dr. Baizhu, please. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herb.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood...
No! We're out before I forget everything.
This trip will be extremely dangerous.
I never expected to live this long in the first place. There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well.
Dr. Baizhu? Are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredient?
Doctor...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time.
Okay.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if...
The Mother Lode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the sword...
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense...
I think I remember this place.
Jiao Liang, are you okay?
No, I have to...
This place gives...
The digging marks here appear amateur.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors...
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certain... But why did they abandon this place without even...
I remember now. She took me here, but she... she said that the method would cause me to...
Easy, Jialiang.
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense?
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed. No doubt an encounter with the very same end. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to... This is where...
Jiao Liang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going.
taking a turn for the better.
Now you shall perish! Shine down!
Stars, shine for me. The night is cold. Allow me. Incinerate! Inadmissible evidence!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Illusion shattered!
Not now.
Motion to compel!
Hold the line.
There is no escape!
Mind the side effects. Remember, health comes first. A bit. Mind the side effects.
Zhongli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
Seems like an emergency.
Rest and rebuild! My guiding stars! Stars!
Motion to compel!
Time for your arraignment!
Illusion shattered!
The doctor will see you now.
Dr. Baizhu, how serious is it?
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life...
Then, what are we waiting for?
It's not as simple as that. The poison within Jialiang's body is if the source is purged, the poison in his system will...
And the poison within Jialiang. Oh no.
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to...
I wondered when this day might...
Wait! But we've all been Baizhu. You're a great doctor.
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we put our heads together, we...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness.
Dr. Baizhu, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days.
But what would be the point of... Dr. Baizhu, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already... If my choice can bring Jiangli back...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it... Traveler, Dr...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that...
Jialiang.
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so...
What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life. And now...
I've seen many final farewells in my time.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. At least, that's what
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old... If you could only see him now. So... I've said my goodbyes.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end...
I'll take it. At the very least.
Mom! Something's really wrong with Dad! Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live... Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Didn't I... Huh?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way?
Dr. Baizhu...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jia Liang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qing's?
Oops. And...
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiang Li in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me.
Director Hu.
Never under...
All I wanted was to help Jia Liang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the... One cheat was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him...
You stay away from my dad! When I
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng Funeral Parlor out of business. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another...
Is she finally...
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times...
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon count! Alright, first things first.
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you.
Don't mention it, Jiangli.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu. Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, but I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang, not just that. You even managed to... Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth with surface.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies.
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxin. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have...
But you took such a huge risk. If if we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way. Are all disciples of Genyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life?
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is...
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from...
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore?
Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
It is...
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease, and after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Genyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poisoned chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average, though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them. When faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of, they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame.
So, Baizhu,
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light. But Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives.
Huh? But didn't you
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease? If disease is defined as deviation, many may view the notion, I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself.
For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light,
For once,
Dr. Baizhu, Traveler! What are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
we also have coconut milk. Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten.
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and...
True. And yet, although are such things as these not precisely why we...